Just really, I thought the first half was with great spirit, aggression, one of our best offensive rebounding halves that we've had, 16 assists in the first half, tons of really good things. And I loved, specifically, I watched film with Lauren this morning, and watching her put some things into practice that we looked at in film. Those are all the things I celebrate as a coach, is those growth areas. When you're transferring something we're really focusing on. I will also give the team credit that we really focused on getting paint touches off the post. And I thought we did a much better job today finding touches for Lauren specifically, but not just Lauren, but in general. So as a coach, you love to see that. The thing that I'm really challenging them on is our consistency. When we get into comfortable spaces, we just have to grow on not getting tired of doing it right. Is that we get casual, we communicate less, our rebounding numbers were less, our passion plays were less. 17, if you count the first possession of the second half, 17 of our 22 assists happened in the first 20 minutes and 30 seconds. And we have to fight for greatness. This is one of the hardest working teams I've ever been around. They're great human beings. I love being around them. They're connected with each other. But I'm really challenging them to be more competitive. Possession by possession, not competitive with the scores, but competitive to our standards. And that's something that we must address, and must address it immediately.
For both Lauren and Gianna, I spoke with Coach the other day, and she talked about the need to get more aggressive, and she just brought it up again. How did you see that show in the first half?
I thought defensively we did a really good job in the first half, just pressuring the ball, following the scout, the things that we kind of talked about leading up to the game. I think we just need to continue to grow on that. I think, like Coach Cori said, we can't really let up that second half because it's important that we play that way throughout the entire game. So that's just something we've got to get better at, is just consistency. But I thought defensively we started out pretty well.
Lauren, Coach Gliss has described you as having like a thankless job, just sort of automatically being double teamed or triple teamed whenever you're playing another team. How do you feel like things sort of freed up today for you to be able to have like just a looser scoring day?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just trusting myself and having patience. I think sometimes when I know that double team is coming, I can get rushed, and I think that just messes with how I play. So just continuing to know where my teammates are and reading that, and then just being patient. I think that's the most important thing.
Hey, Lauren. Coach mentioned this briefly in her post-game comments outside about Sienna maybe being able to make her debut, in the next game possibly. What's it been like with you in just trying to kind of keep her, when somebody's out with an injury like that, and, it can get demoralizing at times. What have you sort of done to kind of keep her mind right?
Yeah, the funny thing about Sienna is that she's very stubborn, and even though I'm the older one, she doesn't really want to listen to me, so I try to leave that in Ash and Mia's hands. But no, I think just continuing to remind her that she's very much needed on this team, and she's an amazing basketball player, and just because she's out right now doesn't mean that she's left out and that she's behind. She's done the work. We see it every single day, and she continues to get shots up. They have to force her to get off the court. So I think just reminding her of who she is and how valuable she is, and I'm just so excited, and when she gets to be on the court with me for the first time, that's going to be a really special moment, so I'm really, really excited.
Just tell me about just the assists, getting that extra pass, and how important that's been just throughout the season so far.
Yeah, I think it's been really important for us. A superpower of our team is that it can be anyone's night. So when we move the ball, it's really hard to guard because the defense is rotating and out of position. And it's just a lot of fun to play that way when you're up tempo. Everyone literally touches the ball and you get an open shot. So, yeah.
For Lawrence, I'm curious when Charlize can have a night where she's not showing up scoring-wise, but eight assists, 10 rebounds as a guard. I mean, can you talk about what she adds to this team in games where she might be quieter on the box score, but really loud in categories like that?
I mean, yeah, you kind of said it. I mean, she's just like a beast. I mean, that's her job, her role. I mean, she just creates so much for other people. And like you said, like it might not show in like the stats, but she's so valuable to this team, and she creates so much for other people, and she makes other people look good, and she's very selfless. And that's really special about her, because she doesn't really care how much she produces. She just wants to make sure that we win at the end of the day. So I really appreciate all the work she puts in to create good looks for everybody.
Gianna, talking about ball movement and that sort of thing, does it become a habit with the team? I mean, are there certain players that you kind of have to goad into, hey, person's open, move the ball? Or is it something that it just becomes a flow, it becomes a rhythm? Not necessarily automatically, but naturally.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a flow thing. When we are all very selfless players and we just really want us to win. So like when you see someone open, we use our IQ and are like, hey, that person's open, that's going to be a great shot. So you kind of, once you really get to know who you're playing with, how they play, it's just a natural flow, I'd say.
Gianna, going back to the talk about being consistent and really kind of being very competitive every possession, regardless of the score. How tough is it, though, when you are up by, 20, 27 points and, just mentally, you're still trying to step on their throat?
Yeah, I think as most of this team is seniors, we have experience of being in any position of a game, whether you're up or down. So I don't think we can really use that as an excuse. But just finding ways, and we'll get there. It's still December, so just figuring out ways how we can consistently do that and step on teams' throats even when we are up, and staying locked in, starting defensively.
Lauren, what kind of impact has Michaela had on you from the coaching perspective?
Yeah, Michaela's super special. Obviously, I grew up watching her. She's from Colorado, went to the same high school as I did, so it's really funny just because I feel like I've been living out everything she pretty much already did. So she's just an amazing person, first and foremost, and she's just made me feel so loved, like the second she walked in here. She's just a really amazing character, and I don't know, I just really appreciate all the support I've had from her. She's been with me every step of the way, and she just reminds me of who I am every single day, and I really appreciate that, and I look up to her a lot, so, yeah.
Lauren, can you talk about that film session? How did that kind of help you kind of build your confidence? During
She's not sure it did,
Just
but
kidding. I think it helped a lot. I think sometimes it's not always easy watching film, especially when you don't feel like you played your best, but I feel like it really...
especially with me.
Yes, yeah, and especially with Coach Cori. No, but it helped a lot. I think just being able to see how I can make the easy fixes, because I don't think sometimes when you're in the moment, everything just feels like so, far away, like you can't really do it. But I think when you're watching the film, like they really are easy fixes. So just being able to make the right reads and just trust, certain things that I can do, I think it just makes my job a lot easier. But watching film has helped me a lot. So.
Good job, guys.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Lena and just the way she's just kind of been able to fit in with all the different, scorers and ball handlers that you have. And as such a young player, what have you continued to see from her in terms of her development? Yeah,
she's got some things that's really hard to teach. So she's got a nose for, just how to get her feet set for a shot. She's got a nose of how to get her eyes up on the basket, where her shots are going to come from. Most freshmen are really timid to shoot, and sometimes they hesitate, and therefore they turn it over more. We love it about Lena is that she's going to shoot it before she turns it over. There's no question about that. But she takes good on balance shots. And as a result of that, then you have predictable shots that then you can go rebound. She shot it pretty well tonight, so there weren't a lot of her shots to rebound, but she's going to be a pillar in our future years here. And she just has a great connection with everybody on the team. I never knew she was as hilarious as she is, and I actually want her to play with that kind of sort of fun spirit. She puts a lot of pressure on herself, and you can see in her that she's still thinking a lot. And once she gets to a point where she can play a little bit more loose because she just has the habits at this level that you need, I just think the sky's the limit for her. I'm really thankful she's a Bruin.
Coach, you said the other day that it was important for you guys to rebound better, and 21 plus in the first half, but you only end with 23 plus. Can you first talk about what was really working in that first half rebounding wise, and then what did not work as much in that second?
Well, I think it's like a domino, right? Everything's linked together. We were really forcing the kind of shots that we wanted to force. And it starts with dictating with our defense, not just playing conservatively. And to our players' credit, after we lost to Texas, they said, hey, we want to press more, we want to put more pressure on the ball, we want to play more aggressive, and they even admitted, they said, it's sort of like it tricks us into playing with more aggression a little bit. And, when you have a team that says, hey, we really want to do something and we're committed to it, you want to ride that. And how that trickles to all other areas of the game is we were forcing certain players to go to their weak hand. We were switching some screens where shooters were involved. We had a lot of different schemes that we were attacking, and we were executing that consistently. So we were dictating the shot that was about to happen. So therefore, we were anticipating instead of reacting on the rebounds. And so that all feeds into it. But I thought on the offensive end, the difference has really been our guard rebounding. I also thought that Lauren was really fighting for second and third opportunities. I thought Angela crashed well. I thought Amanda Muse crashed well. I thought Charlize really did a great job getting us extra possessions. I've been really challenging Gianna Kneepkens to get on the offensive glass more. And I thought this first half we did all of those things. We were playing harder. We were playing more connected. We were playing teamwork basketball on both sides of the ball. And you're going to be able to anticipate more and go get rebounds when you play that way. And, that's the hard lesson of the second half, is when you're chasing the ball and you're behind the play and you're not executing connected teamwork basketball, you're probably not going to get to as many of those rebounds. And we allowed ourselves to get boxed out. And, it was the tale of two halves in that area.
Coach, you're scheduled to appear in Stephen A. Smith's show tomorrow.
I am.
Is this a sign of making it the big times?
What was the last thing you said?
Is this a sign of making the big times?
Oh, I don't know. I just want to give our players every opportunity to have their stories told. So I'll go do that. Stephen A. Smith obviously is a very well-known sports figure, but I really have never been in this for reaching the big time. I think the big time is when you're present and living in your purpose right where you are. And so if that's what I'm doing tomorrow, to live in my purpose and to execute our mission, then I'll do it. I'm always thankful. Like I tell you guys all the time, how appreciative I am that you're here and you're covering our great sport and you're telling the stories of our amazing women. So to me, tomorrow is just another opportunity to do that. So.
What went into the decision to bring Michaela on the coaching staff this year, and how's it gone so far?
Michaela, is just, she's one of the most pure-hearted, hardworking, competitive, loyal people I've ever been around. She's an elite teammate. She has elite work ethic. She has a competitive spirit. And so when we were really talking about what do we think our players needed in this next position, and I just thought and I didn't think I could do it. I remember asking her when she was in college, hey, would you ever want to coach? She's like, heck no, absolutely not. And then the more I thought about what the needs of our team were right now, the more her name kept popping in my head. And, I remember calling her. She was like so surprised that I was asking her that. But it has been seamless. Today was her scout along with Coach Tony. And one of the players said the other day, they're like, man, I can't believe how good she is at this. And she just started. And it's just, she's shocking everybody about how seamless it's been for her to come. And she always talks about the legacy that she really wants to leave. And it's not about points and rebounds. Her legacy, she wants it to be about impact. And so this is an opportunity for her to live out that impact. And what I love is that's even more meaningful than how it's affecting W's and L's.
Cori, you mentioned Sienna outside, so it sounds like she's a possibility.
Yeah, I think we're really hopeful that we're getting close. And you never know, because her return to play, you have to have no hitches, right? But I'm hopeful, and obviously it was somewhat of a marketing ploy for people to get excited about that. But I'm being honest in the fact of my hope is that she's going to be able to get some minutes against Cal Poly. I'm not giving you a guarantee. I'm not telling you it's for sure going to happen. But my hope is that we're going to be in that place.
And what's kind of fair to expect from her, when she finally does get in a game for the first time?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think that Sienna is extremely smart. She has an incredibly high IQ. She has very good instincts, and she's incredibly competitive. So I'm sure she'll be on a minutes restriction, and as she progresses back, there's certain percentages she has to meet without symptoms to be able to work her way back. And so I would expect that she'll be really mad at me when I take her off the court, because she'll just want more and more and more. There will be, I think, my biggest hope for her is that she will give herself some grace. She has such high expectations for herself, which is part of what makes her so good. I bet she'll make an immediate impact. But I also think she needs to be okay with mistakes are just feedback in her case. And it's okay to just take some of the feedback and be a great learner. But we are going to, Sienna is going to be a really big part of where we're going. She is incredibly impactful for us. And what Lauren said is so true. We need her. For us to go where we need to go and want to go, we're going to need her growth and productivity. And I'm just excited to really just start that game kind of journey with her.
Hey, Cori, do you go into a season realizing that there's going to be nights like the second half tonight, and there's going to be times that you kind of have to lean on them, and do you kind of have a game plan for that going in?
Well, I think every team is a little bit different in terms of their personality, what gets it. But obviously I failed, because second half I called early timeout. We talked about exactly what the differences we're seeing, and I wasn't able to turn it. So, that's always the goal. Yes, I did not. I think that there are times where we should be having blowout games, because we have incredible talent, and we have great, players who fit well together. But this is really an art project and not a scientific formula. So sometimes, just like I expect them to come back to the drawing board at practice on Tuesday and go, hey, this is what I'm willing to change, I got to do the same. And I have to go into this as, okay, what didn't work there. They're really great young women. They want this just as much as I do. But they have some bad habits that they need some help changing. And so, we'll see. I definitely have a plan for Tuesday's practice, and we'll see if that works.
May I ask what it is?
Nope. You can ask them after the fact.
Nice try.
Anybody else? Thank you again for being here. We appreciate you guys covering our team.